now let's take up the question number 10. This says if the amplitude of a sound is increased to 4 times of its initial value, then the loudness of sound. Here we are given this condition that take other factors constant. We have to take all the other factors to be constant. So we just need to find out that how the loudness is going to change if the amplitude is increased to 4 times. So to solve this question, first of all, one should know the relation between the loudness and the amplitude. We know intensity is the measure of the loudness of sound, and intensity is directly proportional to square of the amplitude. Okay, so I can write here that I1 by I2 will simply be A1 by A2 whole square. If I just take the initial amplitude to be A, now the new amplitude is 4 times. So that will be 1 by 16, and that gives me I2 as 16 I1. So here you can see that how the intensity or the loudness will become 16 times. Okay. So here if you have a look at the options, you can clearly see here that option number 4 is the correct option, as it says the loudness will become 16 times of its initial value. So I can mark this to be the correct option. I hope this question is again quite clear to you. Now let's discuss the solution for question number 11. So it's the time to solve the question number 11. So here we have this question. In this question we were given these two columns, column 1 and column 2. In the column 2 you can see here there are written the few instruments, and in column 1 we are given that how the sound is produced in instruments. So in the part A, as you can see, this talks about a stretched string. So you just need to link these two columns and need to pick up the correct option. So if you talk about this stretched string, so I am just going to mark here the stretched string. So out of these 4 given instruments, what do you think, in which of the 4 instruments the sound is produced by the stretched string? So out of these 4 instruments, which instruments belongs to the category of string instruments? We know Ektara is string instrument and Veena is also string instrument. So in these 2 instruments out of these 4, the sound will be produced by the stretched string. And if we talk about the stretched membrane, then Mridangam is the instrument in which the sound is produced by the stretched membrane. While if we talk about this flute, we know in the case of flute the sound is produced by the vibrating air column. So if you just relate these also, so this stretched membrane will be linked to the Mridangam and this air column will be linked to this second part. So A is related to both 1 and 3. B is related to 4 and C is related to the second part of column 2. So if you have a look at the given 4 options, you can clearly see that option number 2 is the correct option. So I am just going to put it into the box as well. I hope this question is quite clear to you. Now let's take up the solution for the next question. So it's the time to take up the next question, that is question number 12. This says a coating of dash is deposited on iron to protect it from the corrosion and formation of rust in bridges and automobiles. We are given the 4 options and we know the coating of zinc is done on iron to protect it from corrosion. This is a very common process which is also called the galvanization. So correct option is option number 3. This is called galvanization. So I hope this question is quite clear to you. Let's talk about the solution of question number 13.